My name is Alex, and I want to ask you only one question. Do you think that contemporary art is something unclear or confusing? Or you've never seen the point of it? If the answer is yes, welcome to Pinchuk Art Center. This place will change your understanding of art. My goal for today is not just to fill your head with unnecessary information or unknown words. I want you to feel art. I want you to see it as the way I see it. Tell me, would you like to run away from everything, forget about your problems for a while? We start our tour with an installation called Dedicated to the Youth of the World. It's a portrait of Ukraine's young generation seeking shelter from our fraught contemporary reality at rave party. This work provoking us to reflect. What is unity, uniting, or reunion today? The previous installation was understandable in some way, so now I want you to pay attention to this work. If you are aware about the artist, this painting will remind you Francisco Goya's The Firing Squad. Everyone understands this picture in their own way, but only the author himself knows the exact meaning. But the brightness and the dynamism of this picture gives space to imagination to every viewer. And we move from painting to photography, and quite to provocative photographs. I want to talk with you about changes. Today we live in the consequences of change. And the author of the exhibition decided to reflect this theme. In this flow of images, he wants to show the different episodes of his personal life, in which he fixes his gaze on the situations, objects, events that are important to him, that transmit and shape his sense of reality. Let's go to the philosophy in art. Of course, we can't be without it. And there's an installation in front of us, Fountain of Exhaustion. We're faced with a poetic metaphor that time is ruthless, both to man in history and capable of destroying or erasing any event and so forgotten. 28 empty bronze balls as a symbol of oblivion and thus of constant repetition of history. In this installation, life looks like a kaleidoscope of events that run in one after another, regardless of linear history. If we're talking about time, now I want to take you into the past. The delicate porcelain girl symbolizes the brutal memory of horrifying time in the history of Ukraine. The work is dedicated to the Holodomor. It looks like a fragile symbol of history that was never fully lived through and acknowledged, which unfolds before our eyes. The Holodomor was a genocide of Ukrainian people committed in 1932 till 1933. It was undertaken by the leadership of the Soviet Union in order to suppress the submissive Ukrainians and to finally destroy the Ukrainian opposition regime, including efforts to build a Ukrainian state, independent of Moscow. In 1932-1933, were killed more than 7 million people in the Ukrainian SSR and 3 million of Ukrainians abroad in the regions which were historically populated by Ukrainian, Kuban, the North Caucasus, Lower Volga, and Kazakhstan. Another project exploring historical gaps includes paintings, a copy of Response of Mortal Man, and a copy of painting Chernomort. The artists transform realistic paintings into abstract images, keeping only the outlines of landscapes. By reducing the image and removing its details, the artist reflects on her painterly past and at the same time on the human capacity to create blind spots to blur the images of the past. Have you ever had a moment in your life when certain situations happened and despite everything, you wanted to erase them from your life? The exhibition also includes work that invite us to immortalize criminal godfathers gangs of the 1990s. Fontaine is a monument to nameless gangsters, enacting the ritual of humiliation of a man. The project was conceived as a monument to criminal parade, to bandits, and I saw it in a gold leaf and in Russia. That's where the fountain cascades. The artist told in an interview. Hey there! I hope you didn't fall asleep like this man in the picture. By the way, it's not just a man. The canvas depicts Mao Zedong sleeping on a stormy sea. The East is Red, or The Poet Dreaming, is a warning against the world's underestimation of China's development and its imperial ambitions. The consequences of the global financial crisis of 2008-2009 stunned the West with the revelation that China had transformed itself into a center of production for goods for the entire world, with an economy that continues to grow. Now, we live in a reality of Chinese-American trade wars and the spread of China's economic influence not just into Asian or African countries, but also into Europe. And now we move on to another part of the exhibition called Stone Hits Stone. And the first thing we see is Nikita Kadan's monument Victory, or White Shelf. He reconstructs a 1925 model of the monument to three Russian revolutions, 1825, 1905, and 1917, by Vasil Yermilov. Unlike the original hammer-shaped white and red sculpture model, a construction by Kadan is cleaned of communist symbolism but has the same appearance of the average avant-gardist iconography. The only element that disturbs the wide sterility of the construction is an awkward object on the top of the pedestal. In the original model, the pedestal was formed by the head of a red hammer. The red hammer becomes a base or a shelf, which serves as a resting place for the original formed mass of melted cups, an object which Kadan found the abandoned remains of what was once a house before an artillery strike in Donbass. And this is the Sun and Satellite. This artist's work with Soviet-made sunshine lattices appeared in 2013. At that time, he reproduced the rays of a standard Windows sun with neon tube. As you know, the dashboard's sunshine is one of the most important elements of the post-Soviet urban landscapes. Let's image. The sun rises in every window on our planet. It would seem very cheerful, optimistic image. On the other hand, it's infinitely sad. It's self-repressive, limited, depressed Soviet man in the Soviet space. In the post-Soviet, all this remains. Stars and hammers are knocked down, suns in the same places can already be combined with plastic windows and modern double-glazed windows, but post-Sovietness is still with us. This work reminds us of the architectons of Kazimir Malevich, which is volumetric compositions comprising geometric shapes that cut into each other at right angles. The artist explores the Soviet past and revolutionary enthusiasm. The belief in an inescapable utopia embedded in the architectons is contrasted with the model of the burned gypsy house set in the place of the black circle in Malevich's original work. Thus, artist is replacing the concept of space and utopia with the concept of brutal reality. The burned house refers to the 2018 attack on a gypsy camp in Kiev, during which members of the right-wing paramilitary organization C-14 kicked families out of their homes and razed them to the ground. And I wanna end our tour on this rainbow wall. It's a wall that means nothing, but for us, let it mean that even after all the bad events and the past that I told you about today, there will be a bright future, because after the rain, there is always a rainbow. Sincerely yours, sticker travel?
Sticker travel.